Oh, hi. Are you ready to hear another story about why it makes sense to leave your job that is destroying you and start to do something online with building a business? You're not ready for this one. Oh my God. I wasn't ready for it when it happened, so everything's lining up in it. This was 2007. I had been in Vegas for about a year at this point, and I'd been a cook for 2 years. So I'm still obviously very green and still learning the ins and outs of this nonsense as I go. I answered an ad, obviously, and chef's like, yeah, come in. I'm like, all right. The place where I was living, in comparison to where I was working, was 25 miles away. This was when gas was, much like it is now, getting up to like $4.5 a gallon. And I'm like, okay, it's all part of the process. Vegas is very, very much different than the rest of the country, where we have restaurants that have bars and tabletop video gaming inside of them, and those are called taverns. Every tavern has to do something to kind of set itself apart from each other because there's so many of them. There's like 2 that I can walk to in my neighborhood right now, and both of their food is very much different, and I do enjoy both of them. The one that I went to go interview was like really nice, fine dining. You know, they had, everything was made from scratch. They used real high quality ingredients. And so I'm like, okay, I started out in fine dining. This is right up my alley, right? And so I get there, and the chef used to work for this big majorosity chef. If I mention the chef's name, even people who don't know chefs are gonna know this chef's name. So I'm not gonna say anything. And this is the kind of place, again, where all the cooks are super freaking cool and the chefs are nightmare people. We had an executive chef, executive sous chef, 2 other sous chefs. Just too many dudes in management and not enough cooks. And when you're new at a place, they always stick you on salad station, garde manger, same thing. And so that's where I went. This was a station that it took 3 people to prep during the day, which is total insane madness, but only 1 person to work it at night because the place was this slow. Waste. Total waste. We had the executive sous chef who one day decided to tell the entire kitchen that his little Johnny had a piercing in it. I'm like, literally no one asked or needed to know that. Thank you. So that was the executive sous chef. He trained me to make this one sauce one day, and I did literally everything he said. He was right by my elbow when I made it the whole time. He tasted it, said it was perfect, and I'm like, good, I finally did something right. The next day, the executive chef is here, tastes it, and he goes, this is completely 100% wrong. What were you thinking? You're an idiot. And I'm like, your guy told me everything how to do it to make this sauce, so I'm sorry. And he goes, don't you dare blame him. You effed it up, you take responsibility for it. Oh, did I mention that this place didn't have a recipe book? Red flag! Oh my God, I still got blamed for not knowing what I didn't know. So here's the part where it went completely sideways, and I never showed up after I saw this. It was the end of the night, and at this point, it's like December, and it gets cold out here in the desert. This night in question, it's the end of the night, service is over, and I'm taking the mats outside to hose them down. And there was a guy who was working hot apps, and I think his name was Dan or Dave. It was a long time ago. I'm out there, I'm hosing the mats off. He comes out to have a cigarette. Here comes the Johnny pierced executive sous chef. He took the hose from me. He's like, give me that. He took the hose from me. It's December. It's flu season weather outside. He hosed this cook from head to toe, and he didn't just spray him and spritz him. He hosed him down from head to toe. He was soaking wet, just for having a cigarette outside. And he goes, change your clothes and go home. There was no reason for that. My colleague, Dave, he wasn't doing anything wrong. It was the end of the night. He smoked. He was going out to have a ciggy. Who gives a shit? But no, he takes my hose, prevents me from doing my work, and hoses him down from head to toe. Now question, what would you do? Oh, and did you know we were getting $9 an hour to do this, and we were required to come in 2 hours off the clock and work for free? Wouldn't you leave? Wouldn't you feel so disrespected by the people who needed you to be there that at some point you would want to leave and go do something like literally else? This is still going on in the industry, and it doesn't matter if you're making now $18 an hour or $38 an hour. No one needs to be disrespected like that on the job. There's no reason for it. So remember, if you are in a job that is doing really rat shit crap to you, you don't have to take it. If you're in a job that you enjoy where you work, stay there. You have one life. I am talking to the people who are at their wits' end with stuff like this. Anyone who, feels like it's time to go because management hates me because I exist, or, they're just crazy and they don't have any respect for the people that they are relying on. Sometimes it's outright contempt. It doesn't have to be that way. If you are in a situation like that, I'm here telling you now that if you want to break out and you know that the grass isn't going to be greener at the next restaurant you go to, it's not going to be greener at the next retail space or the next truck you drive, maybe it is time for you to consider building a business online and getting out of this. Do you really want to see how much worse it's going to get? It's not going to get any better. I think you deserve better. I'm ready to take anyone who wants to come with me. I have a link in the description down below. If you're ready to break out, just come get me. Come talk to me. You can talk to me through Messenger. You can send me a message here and I'll be in touch. Just, life's too short to be putting up with stuff like that from people who just don't have any sense anymore. I'm here. Like, favorite, subscribe. I'm ready to talk to you if you're ready to talk to me. All right. Y'all have a good rest of the night. I'll see you next time. Take care.